Ian, you wrote about Hart's potential extension in your latest article for SNY.TV. What could that extension look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely coming, and I'm not breaking any news there because he wouldn't have opted in without that extension being firmly on the table. I think, as far as I've heard, it's going to come in under that max of 81, and it should be 4 years in length. So they'll have Josh Hart under contract for 5 seasons, and I'm sure that makes Tom Thibodeau happy because he's a huge Josh Hart fan. But getting him at that number 2, as you see the salary cap, we think it's just going to keep increasing here, especially with new media rights deals coming up. That deal is going to look really good, assuming Josh Hart continues to play at the level that he's established or exceeds it. That's going to look like a very good contract towards the end of it. And now the thing with Hart is, the 3-point shooting. He was fantastic when he got to New York initially. He did not shoot it well for most of the playoffs. So where is he over the course of 82 games? And what the Knicks hope is another postseason run. Where does he sit as a 3-point shooter? Is it strong? Is it passable? Is it not passable?
What's the word on Karl-Anthony Towns?
Yeah, I think, because my read on it was, if the Knicks had really strong, uniform interest on acquiring Towns, they could have done it, before the draft or earlier in free agency. I know that teams in touch with the T-Wolves, in their discussions about trades, Karl Towns' name was brought up. I don't know Minnesota's current stance on trading or not trading Towns, and I don't know if Minnesota was the one bringing Karl Towns' name up. But just the sense I got in this offseason was that if the Knicks wanted to go there, they could have gone there. And so that tells me that at the very least, not all top decision makers see Towns as the perfect fit. I think you look at the situation in Minnesota, they just paid Anthony Edwards. They're going to have to pay McDaniels on an extension, Gobert and Towns on monster contracts. And you just think something has to give there, whether it's Towns or Gobert. But to Steph's earlier point, also on the Knick timeline, Jalen Brunson has a player option for 25-26. I believe. So at that point, you're not going to have Jalen Brunson on a team-friendly deal anymore. You're going to have to pay him. And this new CBA, it really dissuades teams from spending a ton of money on team salary. So I think that might be the window that you're working with before Brunson hits free agency and you pay him that next deal.